Earth had always been patient. For decades, humanity had grown quietly, slowly advancing its technology, building cities that gleamed with energy efficiency and exploring the stars. The humans had learned much from the cosmos, yet they had never sought conflict. Other civilizations in the galaxy often overlooked them. To them, Earth was a small blue world, a young species struggling to survive. They were wrong. In the orbit above Earth, massive space stations floated silently, their hulls glinting under the light of the sun. These stations were not just for research, they were the guardians of humanity. Thousands of satellites and defense systems formed a web around the planet, invisible but deadly. Humanity had spent decades building these defenses, but always in secrecy. No alien power had known how capable Earth had become. Dr. Leila Fernandez, one of the leading human scientists, stared at the main holographic display in the orbital command center. Stars shifted slowly across the projection, and a small blip appeared near the outer edge. "Commander Ree, look at this," she said, pointing at the blip. Commander Jin Ree leaned over, his sharp eyes narrowing. "Zetherian scout ship. Odd. It's too close to ignore." The Zetherians were notorious across nearby star systems. They were massive, insectoid-like creatures with intelligence rivaling humans, and technology far more advanced than anything Earth had publicly revealed. But the humans had been careful. They had avoided conflicts, quietly observing the galaxy, and slowly catching up. Dr. Fernandez adjusted the display. "It seems to be observing our defenses. Maybe testing our reaction." Commander Ree's jaw tightened. Humans have always been patient with these invaders. We have waited and observed. But this is too close. Meanwhile, millions of humans on Earth continued their daily lives, unaware of the tensions above them. In the bustling streets of New Tokyo, children laughed as autonomous vehicles hummed along the roads. In New Cairo, engineers worked tirelessly on experimental fusion reactors. Across every continent, human ingenuity shone, quietly preparing Earth for a future that the galaxy had yet to understand. High above the planet, in the command center, the mood was tense. Military and scientific leaders had gathered for an emergency briefing. "We've scanned their ship thoroughly," Admiral Sophia Carter began. "The Zetherian vessel is equipped with advanced cloaking and weapons systems. It could destroy one of our orbital stations in minutes. But they don't know everything. Our adaptive shields and AI systems are ready." A hush fell over the room. Even with their confidence, the reality of facing such a formidable species was daunting. Dr. Fernandez spoke again, her voice calm but firm. "We must remember, the Zetherians expect humans to panic. They expect us to surrender or to flee. But we have spent decades preparing, quietly learning, quietly advancing. They underestimate us because we were patient. But patience is not weakness." Commander Ree nodded. "Agreed. Humanity does not strike first without cause. But we will not be pushed. We will protect our home, no matter the cost." The blip in space grew larger as the Zetherian scout ship approached Earth. Its dark, angular body reflected no light, making it appear even more ominous. Sensors detected energy pulses from its engines, and faint signals hinted at sophisticated communication arrays. The aliens were watching, waiting, testing. In the days that followed, Zetherian probes began appearing in Earth's orbit. They moved swiftly, almost invisibly, scanning the planet's surface and orbital defenses. The humans responded with calculated restraint. They allowed the probes to observe, recording every detail. Every movement was noted, every signal decoded. Humanity had learned the value of patience, and now it was being tested. On Earth, leaders debated their options. "We could attempt diplomacy," suggested Secretary Malik, the head of the United Earth Council. "Send a message requesting they leave. Perhaps they are unaware of our capabilities." Admiral Carter shook her head. "They know more than they pretend to know. These are not novices. The Zetherians have crushed worlds before. A diplomatic request may be seen as weakness. They may test us further. We must prepare for defense and for action if necessary. Dr. Fernandez spoke again. I propose a different approach. Let us show them that humans are not to be underestimated. Not through destruction, but through ingenuity. Let them see that patience has its limits. A plan began to form. Earth's best scientists and engineers would coordinate with military leaders. Advanced AI would manage fleets of ships and orbital defenses. Humans would not strike blindly, they would use strategy, misdirection, and precision. Meanwhile, the Zetherian scout ship finally broke the outer perimeter of Earth's detection range. It sent a signal, a transmission in an alien language that the humans decoded almost instantly. The message was chilling in its simplicity. Surrender or face annihilation. Silence filled the command center. Every leader understood the weight of those words. The galaxy's most powerful species had assumed Earth was weak. They were about to learn otherwise. Commander Ree stood, his eyes fixed on the holographic projection of the approaching ship. We have waited this long, he said. We have been patient while others underestimated us. But today, patience ends. Today, we send a message of our own. Dr. Fernandez smiled faintly. Not with weapons, yet, with intelligence, strategy, and precision, we will show them the strength of humanity. Orders were sent across Earth's defense networks. Orbital stations powered up their shields, fleets prepared for deployment, and AI systems began simulations to predict every possible alien maneuver. Humanity's patience had transformed into preparedness. As night fell over Earth, cities lit up with vibrant energy. Humans slept unaware of the danger above, but their innovations and daily work were the foundation of the planet's defense. Each invention, each discovery, each moment of human perseverance contributed to a strength that the Zetherians could not yet imagine. In the quiet of space, the Zetherian ship moved closer. Its alien sensors scanned Earth's defenses, unaware that humans were watching every pulse of energy, every maneuver of its ship. Humans had been patient, yes. They had learned, grown, and observed. And now, they were ready. The first phase of Earth's response would be subtle. Humans would not strike blindly. They would test the Zetherians, sending signals of strength and precision that would leave no doubt. Earth could defend itself, and if necessary, it could strike back with devastating effectiveness. Commander Ree addressed the command center one final time before the first engagement. Remember this. Humans are patient, but patience has a limit. We were not born to surrender. We were born to endure, to innovate, and to protect. The galaxy will soon understand what patience really means. High above, the Zetherian ship hovered in silence, its dark hull reflecting Earth's blue and green glow. It had no idea that it had encountered a species whose patience was not weakness, whose ingenuity could rival the greatest civilizations in the galaxy, and whose determination to survive was absolute. In the next hours, Earth would send its first unmistakable signal not of aggression, but of warning. The humans had been patient until today, and the strongest species in the galaxy was about to realize that Earth was no ordinary world. For the first time in centuries, humanity's patience had reached its limit, and the galaxy would never see them the same way again. The silence of space was broken by faint hums of energy, signals pulsing across Earth's orbital network. Every station, every satellite, every ship was alert. Humanity's patience had ended, but it would not end in chaos. They had learned, adapted, and prepared. Now, they would show the Zetherians that Earth was a force to be reckoned with. Commander Jin Ree stood on the bridge of the flagship Vigilant, the lead vessel in Earth's orbital defense fleet. Around him, crew members monitored thousands of systems, their faces tense but focused. Holographic projections displayed the Zetherian scout ship, which had grown larger and more active in the hours since its ultimatum. Admiral Carter. Status report, Ree said. Admiral Sophia Carter's voice was calm, yet carried authority. All fleets are in position. Orbital defenses are online. AI simulations predict that our strategy gives us a 63% advantage in a direct engagement, but that is not our plan. We will not fight blindly. The Zetherians expect a straightforward battle. We will give them something different. Dr. Leila Fernandez moved to the central console. Our AI systems have decoded the Zetherians' communications and movement patterns. They are testing us, probing for weaknesses. We know how they think. We know their priorities. We can predict their responses with high accuracy. Ree nodded. Good. We strike not with brute force, but with precision. Let them see the human mind in action. Prepare the decoy drones. Launch the orbital reconnaissance satellites. Every movement must be calculated. Hours later, Earth's first move began. Hundreds of small, seemingly insignificant drones deployed from orbital stations. They were designed to mimic ships, projecting false energy signatures and broadcasting decoy signals. The Zetherian ship detected them immediately. Sensors locked on the decoys, and the aliens maneuvered cautiously. The humans watched, silent and precise. Each drone moved with purpose, drawing the Zetherians away from critical positions. Meanwhile, stealth ships, small, fast, and virtually invisible, moved into advantageous positions. Their weapons charged but hidden. Commander, the Zetherians are taking the bait, Dr. Fernandez reported. They're focusing on the decoys. Our main fleet is in position to flank. Ree's eyes gleamed with determination. This is what patience builds. They think they are testing us, but we are controlling every move. Suddenly, the Zetherian ship fired. Energy beams streaked across space, destroying a decoy in a brilliant flash. The humans watched carefully. The aliens were revealing their strategy. They focus firepower on perceived threats, said Admiral Carter. Good. That will work to our advantage. Human fleets executed a coordinated maneuver. Adaptive shields activated, absorbing energy pulses and redirecting them harmlessly into space. Quantum communication systems allowed ships to respond instantly, faster than the Zetherians could anticipate. Every move was precise, every attack calculated. The Zetherians, despite their size and experience, began to falter. They had expected fear and chaos, not coordination and ingenuity. Human ships darted through space, striking at weak points while avoiding unnecessary conflict. In minutes, 2 alien fighters were disabled, their systems overloaded by targeted electronic pulses. Dr. Fernandez watched the battle unfold from the command center. They are learning too slowly. Every time they react, our algorithms predict the next move. They do not realize that they are being outsmarted by patience and preparation. Ree smiled grimly. This is the difference between humans and other species. We endure, we learn, and then we act with precision. They assumed weakness, but we were only waiting. On Earth's surface, civilians were unaware of the battle above. Children played in parks, engineers worked on experimental technologies, and ordinary people continued their lives. Yet each human contribution, every discovery, every innovation was a silent part of the war effort. Humanity's strength was not just in weapons, but in creativity, intelligence, and perseverance. The Zetherians, frustrated by repeated failures, attempted a bold move. Their main ship charged a high-energy pulse, aimed at Earth's orbital stations. In theory, it could destroy multiple stations at once. But the humans anticipated this. Activate planetary defense array, Ree commanded. A hum filled the command center as Earth's surface defenses powered up. Satellites and orbital cannons focused beams of energy on the incoming pulse. In a controlled release, the alien energy was neutralized, harmlessly dissipating into space. The Zetherians watched in disbelief. They expected to overwhelm us, Dr. Fernandez said. They did not account for decades of preparation. Humanity's patience was never weakness, it was strategy. Meanwhile, stealth ships moved into position near the Zetherian vessel. They were ready for a precision strike, designed not to destroy the ship outright, but to disable critical systems. One by one, energy disruptors hit the Zetherian engines, communications arrays, and weapons control. The aliens were trapped, unable to escape or retaliate effectively. Commander Ree's voice carried through the bridge. "Now, Dr. Fernandez, send the message." A digital broadcast, in both alien and human languages, pulsed through space. It was not a threat of total destruction, but a clear statement of capability. "We are patient, we are observant, and we are strong. Earth defends itself. The galaxy must respect humanity. Consider this your warning." The Zetherians froze, stunned by the clarity and precision of the communication. Their entire mission had been to intimidate, to test, to assert dominance, but they had underestimated humanity. They were faced not with chaos, but with intelligence, coordination, and absolute resolve. Admiral Carter exhaled, her voice steady. "It is done. Now we wait for their response." But the message is clear. Humanity is no longer to be tested lightly. 7. Clued. Ree looked at the projection of the disabled alien ship. "This is only the beginning. They will retreat, regroup, and reconsider. The galaxy is learning a lesson it should have learned long ago. Humans are not passive. We endure, we innovate, we strike with purpose." Across space, signals rippled through the Zetherian fleet. Messages of confusion and fear spread among the alien crews. Their leaders debated how to respond to a species that had turned patience into strength, intelligence into power, and calm into a weapon. Back on Earth, the people continued their daily lives. Engineers, scientists, teachers, and families were oblivious to the cosmic drama unfolding above them. Yet their resilience, creativity, and determination were the foundation of the victory. Humanity's strength was not in overwhelming force alone, it was in the unity and ingenuity of an entire species. As the hours passed, the Zetherians began to withdraw. Their fleet moved slowly away from Earth, cautious, uncertain, and deeply aware that they had encountered a civilization far more formidable than they had anticipated. Commander Ree turned to Dr. Fernandez. "They will tell the galaxy what they saw. They will warn others. Humanity's patience may have ended, but our message is just beginning." Dr. Fernandez nodded. "Patience is powerful, but action, guided by strategy and intelligence, is unstoppable. We have shown them that today. The galaxy will never see Earth the same way again." On the bridge of the Vigilant, the crew allowed themselves a moment of relief. No lives had been lost. No unnecessary destruction had occurred. And yet the message had been delivered loud and clear. Earth was no longer a passive planet to be bullied. Humans had demonstrated their creativity, courage, and ability to defend themselves with precision and ingenuity. The first strike, the first counterattack, had ended. But the war of respect in the galaxy was only beginning. Humanity had announced itself, not through devastation, but through skill, strategy, and unwavering resolve. The Zetherians, and any other power that underestimated humans, would take note. Commander Ree gazed out at the stars, the alien vessels receding into the distance. "We were patient, until today. But patience is not weakness. It is preparation. And the galaxy has learned that lesson." Dr. Fernandez smiled faintly. "Tomorrow, we will continue to improve, to innovate. Humans are never finished learning, and the universe is full of surprises, just as we are." As Earth rotated beneath them, bright and alive, the people on the surface remained unaware of how close they had come to danger, and how their ingenuity had saved them. But soon, the stories would spread. Across the galaxy, other civilizations would begin to realize that Earth was no ordinary planet, and humans were no ordinary species. Patience had ended, action had begun. Humanity had struck back, not in anger, but in intelligence and precision. And the strongest powers in the galaxy would never forget it. The galaxy had taken notice. The Zetherian fleet, once confident and dominant, had retreated, leaving Earth's orbit clear, but the message unmistakable. Humans were no longer to be underestimated. Across distant star systems, whispers of Earth's sudden display of power and intelligence spread quickly. Some admired it, some feared it, and others reconsidered alliances they had long taken for granted. On Earth, Life continued almost normally. Children played in sunlit parks, engineers worked on experimental technologies, and ordinary citizens went about their routines, unaware of how close the planet had come to annihilation. But above the planet, in the orbital command centers, the leaders of humanity knew that their demonstration had changed the course of history. Commander Jin Rhee stood on the bridge of the flagship Vigilant, gazing at the slowly retreating alien fleet. The holographic projection showed the Zetherian ships, their engines dimming as they left Earth's system. He exhaled deeply. They will tell others what they saw. Humanity has been noticed. And this time, not as a curiosity, but as a serious power. Admiral Sophia Carter nodded. Yes. But we must not let this pride blind us. The galaxy will not remain passive forever. We have shown strength, but we must continue to grow, to innovate, and to be ready. Dr. Leila Fernandez joined them, her expression thoughtful. They learned something about us. Yes. But we also learned much about them, their tactics, their weaknesses, their way of thinking. This knowledge is invaluable, and it reinforces what I've always believed. Human patience is not weakness, it is preparation. The first days after the Zytherians' retreat were filled with analysis. Every movement, every pulse, every communication of the alien fleet had been recorded and studied. Human scientists, engineers, and strategists worked tirelessly, expanding knowledge and improving technology. The same spirit that had driven humanity to explore the stars now fortified them as a galactic power. Meanwhile, other species began to respond. Envoys from distant systems approached cautiously, seeking diplomacy rather than conflict. They had witnessed the humans' abilities and knew that a direct challenge could be disastrous. At the same time, trade opportunities arose as these civilizations realized that cooperation with Earth could be mutually beneficial. In one of the grand halls of the United Earth Council, representatives from multiple species gathered for the first interstellar summit hosted by humans. Commander Rhee and Admiral Carter stood together as envoys entered. Their expressions a mix of curiosity and caution. A towering alien diplomat from the Erythran Collective, known for their rigid honor codes, stepped forward. Humans, you have demonstrated intelligence and strength that even the oldest empires underestimated. The Erythran people recognize your capabilities and seek peaceful relations. Rhee inclined his head. We appreciate your acknowledgement. Humans value peace, but we also value preparedness and the right to defend our home. We hope all species in the galaxy understand that, Dr. Fernandez added. Strength is not just in weapons. It is in knowledge, creativity, and unity. We act with strategy, not recklessness. Respect is earned, not demanded. And today, the galaxy has learned that lesson. The summit continued with discussions of trade, shared technology, and joint exploration missions. Other civilizations, once wary of Earth's potential, began to see humans as partners rather than threats. Humanity's display of intelligence and patience had earned respect without unnecessary bloodshed. Back in space, Earth's orbital defenses remained fully operational, a reminder that while diplomacy was now the focus, the planet could still protect itself if needed. The Zetherians had not returned, but their fleet movements were carefully monitored. Humanity's knowledge of alien tactics meant that Earth could anticipate threats long before they arrived. Commander Rhee walked along the observation deck of the Vigilant, watching Earth rotate beneath him. Cities sparkled, oceans shimmered, and the planet pulsed with life. He thought of the long journey humanity had taken from a fragile, divided species to one that could challenge even the strongest in the galaxy. Admiral Carter joined him. They will respect us now, but they will also watch. The galaxy is unpredictable, but humans have proven something important. We endure, we learn, and we act with precision. That cannot be ignored. Rhee nodded. And that is only the beginning. We will continue to grow. The galaxy is vast, and there are opportunities and challenges everywhere. We must remain vigilant, but also ambitious. Humanity's story is just starting. Meanwhile, Dr. Fernandez returned to the scientific council. Teams of engineers and scientists had begun developing new technologies, inspired by the Zetherians' own advancements. They were not copying alien tech, they were improving upon it, innovating in ways unique to human creativity. Every challenge we face teaches us something, she told her team. We have seen what patience and preparation can achieve. But the universe is full of surprises. Our strength lies in learning, adapting, and working together. Humanity will continue to rise, not through domination, but through ingenuity and resilience. Weeks turned into months, and Earth's reputation solidified. Messages from distant worlds arrived regularly, requesting alliances, trade, or information. Even species that had once dismissed humans as primitive now recognized them as a force of intellect and strategy. The galaxy was learning a new lesson. Humanity was unpredictable, creative, and strong. The Zetherians themselves remained cautious. Their fleet patrolled nearby sectors, but no attacks were launched. They had underestimated Earth once, and they would not make that mistake again. Their leaders debated, analyzing every report from their scouts and commanders. Humans are not as weak as we assumed, one Zetherian official said. They have patience, but their patience masks strength. They are dangerous. Back on Earth, life continued as usual. Cities grew, technology advanced, and humans pursued knowledge and innovation. Yet beneath this calm, humanity had transformed. Patience had been their strategy, intelligence their weapon, and ingenuity their shield. Commander Ree and Admiral Carter often discussed the future. The galaxy will not remain quiet forever, Ree said. But we have shown that humans are not passive. We act when necessary, and we think ahead, Carter smiled. Exactly. And the galaxy now knows that. We were patient. Until today. And that message will resonate for generations. The story of Earth's rise spread quickly across star systems. Humans were no longer the quiet observers of galactic politics. They were innovators, strategists, and defenders. Other civilizations began to approach humanity with caution and respect, recognizing that Earth's strength was not just in its fleets or weapons, but in the minds and spirits of its people. In schools across the planet, children learned the story of how patience and preparation had allowed humanity to face a superior species without losing a single life unnecessarily. In universities, students studied the strategies and tactics employed during the orbital conflict, learning lessons in ingenuity and teamwork. Humanity's victory became an example of how intelligence, creativity, and patience could triumph over raw power. The final months of the year saw a new era of interstellar cooperation. Earth hosted summits, negotiated treaties, and shared technologies carefully. Humans remained cautious, but they also embraced their new role as respected members of the galactic community. Other civilizations watched closely, learning that patience could be powerful, and that humans were a species to be reckoned with. In the quiet moments, Commander Ree often stood on the observation deck of the Vigilant, looking at the stars. He thought of the journey humanity had taken, the battles fought with intelligence rather than blind force, and the respect earned without unnecessary bloodshed. Dr. Fernandez joined him one evening. "The galaxy has changed," she said softly, "and we have changed with it. Humanity has shown what patience, preparation, and ingenuity can achieve. We will continue to grow, and the universe will continue to challenge us. But now, the galaxy knows we are ready." Ree smiled. "Yes, we were patient. Until today. And today, we earned more than victory. We earned respect." As Earth rotated beneath them, bathed in the golden light of its sun, humans continued their work, their lives, and their dreams. They had faced the strongest in the galaxy and emerged unbroken. Patience had transformed into action. Ingenuity had turned into strategy. And humanity had shown that it was a force the galaxy could not ignore. And so, the story of Earth's rise became legend. Across star systems, the message spread. The humans of Earth were no longer passive observers. They were innovators, defenders, and a species whose patience could not be mistaken for weakness. They were ready for whatever the universe might throw at them next. The galaxy had been warned, humanity had acted, and respect, hard-earned and undeniable, had been claimed.